Hi, welcome to Wednesday Wisdom, and today is a bit of a rant, and I'll try and keep it below the 5 minute mark. To set the scene, I need to go take you back to Fiji when I was attached to the CWM hospital and was the tutor radiographer there and a lecturer at the School of Medicine. And true to South Pacific tradition, every lunch hour we would have our kava session, and that was the norm over there. And we had this new eye surgeon come in, and he was flamboyant, and he started off with pretty much came in with one of the imported cars from Japan, and in everything about him spoke money, spoke success, spoke yes I've got this, yes I've got this, and he spoke with confidence as well, and everyone looked up to him, right? And then there was the older eye surgeon who was also in our group, and he was unassuming, drove a really ordinary car, wasn't a flamboyant dresser, and even talked pretty much just like me, with ahs and ums and all this sort of stuff. And it came to a point where the younger bloke was absolutely inundated with patients, whereas the older one was more sedated and going with his pace. But when people came in, when they didn't need the machines to be used and all that, when they actually had a rare form of disease or had a disease that was perhaps not as commonly seen, he was the person that would be able to solve it, because he had been around for so long and had seen all of the variances of everything, and things that the machines did not pick, because it was unique to the Fijian environment. And so therefore the diseases that were in the textbooks manifested slightly different in that environment. So he had seen these different environments. He had also worked in America, he had also worked in India, so he had seen a whole lot of stuff. Now, if I bring that back to what's happening here in Sydney, and one of the things we do as a company is that we always ask for feedback for clients that were looking at using our services, but then decided not to. Not as a vanity metric, but so that we can improve our services. And last week, we had a potential client that said, oh, look, I've gone with someone else because you guys have been around for more than 25 years, and therefore there's new people that would be more innovative and all that. And I get that, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that really have that flash office in the office sense. I'm talking about your social media presence, have got the reliance on data, have got the reliance on the dialing into the pain points of potential clients. And we've just been consistent in the background and doing the things that do work rather than being flamboyant. And so the feedback was that, you know, I've gone with this other person because they're new, and when you guys started, the interest rates were different, the finance was different, and the market may have been different. Some validity in that, right? And so where I'm going with this, and where I'm going with this rant, is that this is where people do get financially hurt, in the sense that they're looking at flashy stuff. And I'm not just talking about sour grapes over here, and I'm not really, in terms of, okay, why did you use our services? I'm actually generally concerned for this person, because they're using the wrong metrics to make the choice. And this is often the case in terms of property as well, and this is often the case in terms of strategies people use as well, where they are looking for flashy stuff because it resonates well. They're looking for clickbaitable stuff, because that's how we are slowly being trained in the social media aspect. So if you're using social media rather than social proof in terms of investing, you will very quickly become the victim of circumstance. Now, how do I relate it back to my days in Fiji? Because we have been around for so long as a company, and myself personally as an investor starting from scratch, we have seen the best and the worst of what the market can do in terms of selection, and we can have a clear digression away from total reliance on data, because we can see what it can unfold, and looking at data in terms of it is a forward predictor, or we trying to do a forward prediction of performance based on past performance, right? So it needs to be corrected for its nuances. It needs to be corrected for, okay, in 5 years time, what's going to happen in the market and so forth. Now, so that's my Wednesday wisdom, is to make sure that you don't get caught up, whether it's looking for a partnering up with someone. Now, this is not just in property, this is in life in general. Partnering up with someone, or looking at setting up strategies, looking at getting into new ventures. Make sure you don't get caught up in the flamboyance of things, and make sure you look at someone that's giving consistent, relatable, and predictable results. And this is for any service that you're looking at. And I try to keep it below 5 minutes. It's gone to 6 minutes. My apologies. This is your Wednesday wisdom, and I'll see you next week.